Hey guys, I'm Chef Tucker, super stoked to be cooking this pizza margherita with you guys, but we have some homework, all right? Let's tackle your homework for your class tomorrow, all right? So, we're gonna need a couple of large mixing bowls and a wooden spoon, all right? So, first things first, in our large mixing bowl, let's get 1 1/2 cups of lukewarm water, all right? 1 1/2 cups of lukewarm water. All right, you always want to bloom your yeast in warm water, all right? But not hot water. Hot water will kill them, so you just want it lukewarm, all right? 65, 70 degrees, all right? Don't get too much hotter than that if you really wanted to be technical here. And then we're gonna get our little active yeast packet here, all right? It's already grammed out for you, 7 grams, all right? Beautiful. And then we're just gonna give that a little mix, all right? So this is called blooming your yeast. And anytime you make dough or bread, all right, that has yeast in it, you wanna bloom it in water, milk, any kind of warm liquid to get it started, all right? And then from there, we're gonna get out some kosher salt, all right? This is also grammed out. This is 1 tablespoon of kosher salt. And then we're gonna need some olive oil, all right? A little bit of olive oil in this situation. And we need 1 tablespoon, all right? So get those measuring spoons out. 1 tablespoon of olive oil. All right, so we've got our wet ingredients here, all right? Mix it up. We're gonna set this aside for about 10 minutes, all right? Let that yeast bloom, all right? It needs a little bit of time, so set that aside and we will be back for that. All right, now that it's been 10 minutes, our yeast has had plenty of time to bloom, all right? Let's bust out that 00 flour, all right? 00 flour is special because it's got a low gluten content, all right? And it's milled super, super fine. We actually get this imported straight from Italy because in America, we don't quite mill the flour as finely as they can in Italy. So we got this beautiful imported Caputo flour, Caputo 00 flour, all right? And this is 1 whole pound, all right, 16 ounces of the finest flour here. And this is typically made with 00 flour because it's got that low gluten content because we want our dough to have some chew to it, all right, but we don't want it to be really gnarly. And then we're just gonna mix this up, all right, with our wooden spoon over here. And again, this is pizza dough, right? So it's gonna be extremely sticky. Very tacky dough to work with. If you have a KitchenAid mixer with a dough hook attachment, this is the time to bust that out, all right? We love life hacks here at Truffle Shuffle. So if you have a KitchenAid mixer and a dough hook, I highly suggest you bust that out, all right? Work smarter, not harder, right? But for the rest of us, we're gonna put in that good old elbow grease, okay, just like Nona. Nona never had a KitchenAid mixer, all right? Nona did it all by hand. Nona had 4 arms of steel, all right? So that's what we're gonna do here today. All right, so once your dough has kind of come together here, we're gonna get it onto our workspace, all right? And essentially we need to bring this together by hand, all right? I know it's very shaggy at this point. We're gonna wanna bring it together. So you're gonna wanna start kneading this dough, all right? And when I knead dough, it's like a series of folds, right? So if you've ever made pasta dough, it's kind of like that. You wanna incorporate all of these bits, all of these pieces. And there's a lot of methods of kneading dough, but essentially you're activating the gluten here. All right, activating those strands of gluten. And that's okay if not all of the pieces combine into your dough, all right, not the biggest deal. And then essentially we just work this dough, all right? We just need to work this dough. And what's gonna happen here is we're gonna be hydrating that flour, all right? That oil, that water. Essentially what we're doing is hydrating the flour, all right? It's gonna be a little bit of a sheen to our dough from the olive oil that we added in here. All right, and so this kind of kneading situation is what your KitchenAid dough hook would be doing, right? Slapping it around. And it's pretty sticky, but it's not sticking to my hands, right? So that's a very important distinction. While this is a sticky dough, it's not getting all over me. Putting in that work. Stay with me. I know nobody expected an arm workout class here today, but here we are, all right? And so the reason we have this homework is because a good pizza dough, right, has to go through quite the process. So we have to build the dough, we have to knead the dough, and then we have to proof the dough. All right, proofing is a very essential step. I know, I'm tired already as well. We got this. All right. Whew. And we're gonna do this for about 10 minutes, all right? Activating that gluten. All right, woo, that was a long 10 minutes, all right, but you stayed with me, all right, and it's all gonna be worth it tomorrow when we bust out this beautiful pizza, all right? Woo, so we worked our dough, all right, so this is what we've got here, all right, our little dough ball. And what we're gonna do, all right, is we're gonna grab our other mixing bowl and our pan spray, all right? This is very important. You gotta grease that bowl or you're gonna have a bad time, all right? And we don't want you to have a bad time. Nice and greasy, okay? And then plop your little dough baby right in there, all right? And so we're gonna get our plastic wrap out, all right? Our good old plastic wrap. And you wanna get this nice and airtight, all right? So anytime you wanna cover up your dough, you want a nice airtight seal, all right? And so actually, when my Nona used to make pasta, she used to cover up the bowl with like a big stack of blankets and put it by the heater, which I feel like was overkill, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna leave this bowl someplace warm, all right? And so that yeast in there likes that warmth, and so it's gonna puff up. This dough is gonna increase in size by probably 2 to 3 times, right? This is gonna grow, all right? And then after an hour, what you're gonna do is you're gonna fold the dough, all right? And so what I mean by folding the dough is essentially you're just going to puncture it. It's gonna expand with air from this yeast, all right? And then we're just going to let that air out. So you essentially just fold the dough over on top of itself, all right? You just kind of basically take the air out and then you rewrap it, all right? Put it back in that warm place, and you're gonna do that twice in a 3-hour span, all right? And then after 3 hours, you can pop the entire bowl right into the fridge, all right? And so it's gonna live in that fridge overnight, and then tomorrow when we go to tackle this class, all right, your homework assignment will be to pop this out of the fridge, all right, and let it temper at room temperature for an hour before our class, all right? And then your dough is gonna be so perfect, so ready to get toppings and baked off, all right? I can't wait to see how it turns out, and I will check you out later.